Hey everyone, welcome to Taste the Globe. Today I am in beautiful Den Haag in the Netherlands. I'm going to be sharing one of my biggest tips whenever I travel. I always save a ton of money by making sure wherever I'm renting has a kitchen. That way I can make myself breakfast every day before I get started on my adventures. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make Eggs Benedict.
Add 1 tablespoon white vinegar to 3 to 4 cups of water and heat it till it comes just below a boil. Now whenever you're poaching eggs, it's always really important to crack your egg into a separate container and then gently let it into the water. The reason for this is sometimes you're going to end up with cracked yolks, and if you crack it directly into your water, you're just going to make a mess of it. The best way to poach an egg is to just leave it alone once it goes in the water. The white vinegar is going to keep that egg white intact. As soon as my egg has begun to set, I get myself a separate container with a little bit of tepid water and add it to it. It's going to keep the egg at temp without overcooking it. This will give you a chance to gather the other components to this dish. Once you remove the eggs, set your heat to the lowest setting. Take your egg yolks that are in a stainless steel bowl and set them on top as a double boiler. Whisk continually while applying it to the heat and removing as needed to raise the temp of the eggs without turning them into scrambled eggs. Take your melted clarified butter, pour a little bit into the rim of the bowl, and begin to whisk your yolks. Have your melted butter ready, that way it's not too hot when you're adding it to the egg yolks. It's very important to pour the butter into the rim of the bowl and not directly on the eggs, and to do this while you're continually mixing with your whisk. This will prevent you from ending up with scrambled eggs, which is the most common mistake done when people are trying to do hollandaise sauce. To ensure proper hollandaise, you must be patient and continually whisk your yolks, not being afraid to remove them from the heat and return them to the heat as needed to achieve your desired consistency. As your hollandaise begins to come together and thicken up, you'll feel a little resistance as you continue to whisk. This is the perfect moment to set aside your hollandaise and begin your next step in your dish, specifically to prepare our meat, which in our case is going to be prosciutto slices. As I crisp up my prosciutto, I continue to work my yolks until they begin to lighten in color. Then it's time to add juice from half a lemon. Remove your prosciutto. Now that lemon juice will have thinned out our hollandaise a little bit. Continue to whisk over heat to thicken it up. Test the consistency of the hollandaise by taking a spoon and dipping it in the sauce. It should come out like thin honey and coat the spoon completely. Once you achieve the proper viscosity, it's time to season up our sauce. Begin with a little bit of salt. You could also add a little bit of white pepper if you like as well. Now a good hollandaise sauce needs a little bit of spice to offset the lemon and the salt and the richness of the yolk. This will give you a very well-rounded sauce. I typically use hot sauce. A couple of drops of Tabasco is enough to do the trick. Using a little pinch of cayenne or even a little paprika also works. Taste your hollandaise and adjust your seasonings accordingly. The thick, creamy texture and light color are hallmarks of a great hollandaise. Garnish with a light, fresh herb. I suggest using chives, dill, or chervil.
Eggs Benedict is one of my guilty pleasure foods. It's not something that you can have all the time, but it's absolutely delicious. If you've ever been to brunch, you can see it's a really huge hit, and for good reason. One of my favorite things about the dish is it's a good example of the blending of cultures. You take the French, who have given us the innovations of their mother sauces and emulsions, which provided us with the delicious hollandaise, but then you take America, where in New York, in the late 1800s at the Waldorf Astoria, they put it together with poached eggs and bacon, and that gave us Eggs Benedict. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to leave a comment and to like it. And don't forget to subscribe, because every week I do post new content of different food from around the globe. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.